In this movie, I want to invest just a little bit of time to talk about the requirements of this course so that you as a user can get the most from the material presented here. And I also want to discuss a little bit about the course companion files so you can open up the files that accompany this course and see how they work. So in terms of the requirements of this course, I should say that this course is intended at intermediate users. I'm going to assume, for example, that you have used Unity before, that you are familiar with the fundamentals of Unity. Now, if this is the first time you are approaching Unity, my recommendation is first to take the 3D Motive course, An Introduction to Unity 5, as the fundamentals of Unity are presented in depth in that course. In addition to that, I'm also going to assume that you are familiar with the basics of scripting, that you've used C# as a language before, and you've used it in the context of Unity. So I'm going to assume, for example, that you know what a variable is, that you know what a function is, and an if statement and a switch statement. I'm going to assume also that you know what a class is and what object-oriented programming really amounts to. I'm going to assume you know all of those things so that we can take those ideas and deploy them in this course. Now, if this is the first time you've approached programming and C# within Unity, my recommendation is to take the 3D Motive course, An Introduction to C# Programming with Unity. This course is fundamentally a sequel to that one. So in this course, we're going to be looking at the different ways we can take those fundamental programming concepts and apply them within Unity in terms of gameplay. So in this module in particular, I'm going to be looking at the fundamental mathematical ideas that will allow us to create all kinds of impressive behaviors for our games. So I'm going to be looking at the ideas of motion and speed to create objects that move. We're going to be answering key questions about rotations and quaternions. How, for example, can we make objects rotate? How can we make them face particular directions? How can we rotate them over time? How can we orbit one object around another? We're going to be looking at all kinds of practical cases like that. And to achieve that, you'll need a fundamental understanding of C# programming. In addition to that, there's also the course companion files, and you can see those open here inside the Unity editor in front of me. And in terms of the course companion files, you just need to open up one single Unity project, and that is going to be the result of our work in this module, where I demonstrate a range of different programming concepts at work. So it includes this basic scene here, and we have a very simple mesh. You can find this mesh inside the meshes folder. So I can go inside that folder here and select the mesh. And in the object inspector, you can see the mesh has been imported here. And notice I've enabled the checkbox Generate Colliders to ensure that this mesh is classified as a solid object. In addition to this mesh, you will see that I have a texture here called Diffuse Texture, which is simply the texture that is applied to this mesh that you can see here in the viewport. If I go back to the Assets root folder here, and I double click on the Scenes folder, you can see that we get a range of different scenes. We have the base scene on which all of the other scenes in this project are based. So this effectively is the starting point scene. And we have a range of folders: rotation, projection, orbiting, mover, gizmos, and all kinds of things where we were demonstrating the basic concepts of programming as we move forward through this course. So different videos are going to focus on different aspects and different folders here. So that basically is the requirements of this course and the project companion files in a nutshell. Moving forward, we're going to start tackling the issues of C# programming individually, and we're going to begin with the idea of movement through space within a scene.